Why do so many men miss out on opportunities with women? Because they ignore the signs right in front of them. Here's the truth. Women will never walk up to you and say, "Hey, I want you to talk to me." They communicate differently, subtly, indirectly, and through body language. And if you do not understand these signals, you are walking past women who actually want you to approach them. Think about it. How many times have you hesitated, unsure if she was interested? Maybe you assumed she was just being nice. Or worse, you psyched yourself out, thinking you were reading too much into it. But what if you weren't? What if she was actually waiting for you to make a move? Here's the uncomfortable reality. Most men either approach women who are not interested or completely ignore the ones who are. They fail because they do not know how to read a woman's signals. Women are experts at nonverbal communication. A glance, a shift in posture, the way she plays with her hair. These tiny details reveal everything you need to know. And once you master reading them, you will never second-guess yourself again. In this video, I am going to teach you exactly how to decode a woman's body language so you will always know when she wants you to approach her. No more doubt. No more hesitation. If you are serious about improving your social awareness and confidence, then keep watching. Let's get into it. 1. She keeps looking, but pretends not to. One of the biggest giveaways that a woman wants you to approach her is her eyes. But here is the catch. She will not stare at you like a love-struck teenager. Instead, she will look at you. Then quickly look away. This is not an accident. It is a test. Most women are not going to hold deep, obvious eye contact with a man they do not know. That would be too bold. Instead, they make it subtle. They glance at you, look away, and then, if they are truly interested, they will look back again. Why do they do this? Because they want to get your attention without being too obvious. They are signaling interest while still maintaining a little mystery. If she looks at you once, that could mean nothing. But if it happens multiple times, that is a green light. Now here is where most men go wrong. They hesitate. She looks at you, you notice it. But instead of acting, you overthink. Was that real? Maybe she was just looking around the room. What if I'm wrong? And in that hesitation, you lose the moment. She assumes you are not interested or confident enough to approach. And just like that, the opportunity disappears. Let's break this down in a real-life scenario. You are sitting in a cafe, sipping your coffee. A woman at a nearby table glances in your direction. You catch it, but you do not react. A few minutes later, she does it again, but this time when your eyes meet, she quickly looks away. This is where most guys freeze. But if you are paying attention, you will notice something important. She does it again. Maybe she brushes her hair back, shifts in her seat, or takes a sip of her drink while subtly glancing at you. She is waiting. Here is what you do. You hold her gaze just a second longer the next time it happens. Then you give her a slight smirk or a confident nod before making your approach. That tiny moment of acknowledgement makes all the difference. It shows her that you see her interest and that you are a man who knows how to take the lead. So the next time a woman keeps looking at you but quickly looks away, do not ignore it. Recognize it. Read it. And most importantly, act on it. 2. Her body faces you, even when she's not talking to you. A woman's words might tell you one thing, but her body, that never lies. One of the biggest signs she wants you to approach her is when her body naturally gravitates toward you, even if she is not speaking to you. Now, here is where most guys get it wrong. They focus only on what she is saying or whether she directly interacts with them. But smart men? They pay attention to her body positioning. When a woman is interested in you, even subconsciously, her body will align with yours. Her feet, her torso, even the way she angles her head. It all points in your direction. It is her way of inviting you into her space without having to say a word. But here is the catch. She might not make it obvious. She could be in a group chatting with her friends, but her body stays angled toward you. She might be standing across the room, seemingly focused on something else, yet her posture is open in your direction. Women do this instinctively. They do not even realize they are doing it. But once you know what to look for, it becomes impossible to miss. Now, let's put this into a real-life situation. Imagine you are at a bar with some friends. A woman nearby is talking to her friend, laughing, engaged in conversation. At first, it seems like she is not paying attention to you. But then, you notice something. Her feet are pointed toward you, not her friend. Her shoulders stay slightly open in your direction. And even when she turns to speak, her hips remain aligned with you. This is not random. If she were uninterested, her body would be closed off, turned away, or completely disengaged from you. Here is what you do. You wait for the moment she makes eye contact or acknowledges your presence, even briefly. Then, you make your move. Most guys think they need an obvious invitation to approach a woman. They don't. They just need to read what she is already showing them. So, next time you are in a social setting, forget the words, watch her body. If she consistently angles herself toward you, even without talking to you, take the hint and go say something. 3. She accidentally touches you or gets too close. Let's be honest. Women do not touch random guys for no reason. If she brushes against you, lightly taps your arm, or finds small ways to invade your space, it is never truly an accident. Here is where most men go wrong. They assume these little touches mean nothing. They write it off as coincidence, or worse, they are too nervous to acknowledge it. But in reality, this is one of the clearest signs she is comfortable with you and wants you to engage with her. Think about it. How often do women avoid touching men they are not interested in? They will keep their distance, cross their arms, shift away, or lean toward their friends instead. That is what disinterest looks like. Now flip that around. If she is breaking that invisible barrier, if she is stepping closer when she doesn't have to, that is her way of testing your reaction. And here is something most men do not realize. Women know exactly what they are doing. They know when they accidentally touch your arm while laughing at a joke. They know when they position themselves just close enough that your hands might brush against each other. It is intentional. But they do it in a way that gives them deniability. So if you don't respond, they can just play it off. Ever had this happen? You are standing in a crowded place, and suddenly, she shifts a little closer to you. Maybe her shoulder brushes yours. Maybe she leans in just a bit while talking. It feels small, subtle, maybe even meaningless. But if you were to step back, she would probably close the gap again without even thinking about it. Why? Because proximity equals interest. Women do not step closer to men they are trying to avoid. They do it when they feel drawn in, when they want you to notice them, feel them, acknowledge their presence. Now here is the key. Most men miss the moment. A woman can only put herself in your space so many times before she gives up. If she gets no response, she assumes you are not interested or that you are not confident enough to take the lead. Either way, you lose. But the men who do recognize this, they know exactly when to make a move. So, the next time a woman accidentally touches you, whether it is her hand, her shoulder, or just the way she leans in, pay attention. It is probably not an accident at all. 4. Her hands reveal everything. Most men are completely blind to what a woman's hands are telling them. They focus on her face, her words, or maybe even her body, but they ignore the one thing that is literally giving them the answer right in front of their eyes. And that is exactly why they fail. If a woman is into you, her hands will not stay still. They will be playing with her hair, fidgeting with her jewelry, or touching the rim of her glass. She might even be lightly running her fingers across her arm or neck. These small, seemingly innocent movements are actually signs of nervous excitement. But most guys, they do not even notice. They stand there like statues, overanalyzing what to say next, completely missing that her hands are practically begging them to take control of the situation. Let me make this simple. When a woman is uninterested, she does not fidget. She keeps her hands still, crosses her arms, or casually rests them in her lap. There is no energy, no movement because there is no attraction. But when she is interested, everything changes. She might be twisting a ring on her finger, stroking the stem of her wine glass, or lightly tracing patterns on the table. These movements are not random, they are subconscious signs of arousal, anticipation, and curiosity. And yet too many men ignore it. They stand there waiting for a clear sign while she is literally showing them one. And when nothing happens, she assumes they are either too slow to pick up on signals, or worse, not interested at all. So here is your wake-up call. Pay attention. If you see her hands moving, it is your moment to step up. Engage her, tease her, make her laugh, and create that deeper connection. Stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. Read the signs and act. Because if you don't, she will assume you are not the kind of man who knows what he wants. And trust me, she will not wait forever. 5. She holds eye contact, then looks away. Let's be real. Women do not accidentally lock eyes with men they do not find attractive. Yet, so many guys second-guess themselves when it happens. She looks at them, holds eye contact for just a second too long, then quickly looks away. And instead of recognizing it for what it is, an invitation, they hesitate, doubt themselves, and let the moment slip away. That is exactly why they fail. Listen, women are not going to come up to you and say, "Hey, I think you're hot. Come talk to me." That is not how attraction works. Instead, they send signals, small, subtle, but powerful signals that only a confident man will recognize and act on. And eye contact? That is one of the strongest ones. If a woman holds eye contact with you, even for just a couple of seconds, it is never random. Women are highly selective with their gaze. If they are not interested, they will avoid looking at you altogether. They will keep their attention on their phone, their drink, their surroundings, anything but you. But if she looks at you, holds it, and then quickly looks away, she wants you to notice her. Now, here is where most guys mess up. They see it happen, but instead of taking action, they tell themselves, maybe it was just a coincidence. Or even worse, they get stuck in their heads, overthinking whether or not they should approach. And by the time they finally work up the courage, the moment is gone. A woman will not keep giving you signals forever. If you fail to act, she will assume you are either oblivious or uninterested. And once that happens, you've lost your chance. So here is what you need to do. The second she looks at you, and especially if she looks away shyly, take that as your green light. You do not need to overcomplicate it. You do not need to wait for more proof. That was the proof. Lock eyes with her once, hold it for a beat longer than normal, and give her a subtle smirk. If she smiles or looks back again, that is your confirmation. Now, you make your move, because the truth is, women already know within seconds if they are open to being approached by a man. And if she is looking at you, breaking eye contact, and then stealing another glance, she just made her decision. The only question is, will you be man enough to act on it? Here's the cold, hard truth. Women give men opportunities every single day, but most guys are too blind, too scared, or too stuck in their own heads to see them. They wait for a woman to spell it out, to make it painfully obvious that she wants to be approached. But that is never going to happen. Attraction does not work that way. Women operate on signals, not instructions. And the men who get it, they do not hesitate. They do not overthink. They act. So now the question is, how many of these signals have you ignored in your life? How many times has a woman tried to catch your eye, get close to you, or give you that nervous little smile, only for you to do nothing? Be honest. Drop your experiences in the comments, and I will personally read and respond to them. Let's talk about it, let's break it down, and most importantly, let's make sure you never miss another opportunity again. Because trust me, she is not going to wait forever.